Let's dive right in with a truly wild question. How exactly does a baby's chaotic, totally reactive brain transform into a highly rational, deeply empathetic adult mind? I mean, have you ever just watched a newborn and thought, what on earth is actually going on inside that little head of yours? It is a journey literally every single one of us has taken, yet, crazily enough, we remember almost zero about how it started.
So how do we acquire human intelligence? We don't just wake up one random Tuesday suddenly able to do algebra or feel deep empathy. No way. Instead, we all go through a very specific, chronological, step-by-step journey to unlock those cognitive superpowers.
Before we begin, if you're interested in psychology, human behavior, and powerful life lessons, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now let's begin.
Here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover the 4 stages of cognitive development: sensorimotor, preoperational, concrete operational, and formal operational, and then we'll wrap it all up with Piaget's incredible legacy.
All right, Section 1, the 4 stages of intelligence, mapping the mind.
Starting with Section 2, the sensorimotor stage, from birth to age 2.
So during these first 2 years of life, our brain is just desperately trying to make sense of the world through raw, unfiltered physical experiences. Touching, tasting, moving, grabbing everything in sight. And this brings us to a literally monumental milestone: working memory. Before this hits, if mom hides a teddy bear behind her back, we genuinely think it has vanished from the universe. It's just gone. But once we unlock what Jean Piaget called object permanence, boom, we suddenly realize the bear still exists behind the pillow. It's a total game changer.
And right after that realization, our curiosity absolutely explodes. We want to smell the flowers, taste literally every piece of food, and try to talk to strangers. As we learn to sit up, crawl, stand, and eventually run, our increased physical mobility skyrockets our cognitive development. But, and this is a big but, despite this massive rapid growth, we still remain completely egocentric, meaning we can only perceive the world from our own single personal point of view.
Moving on to Section 3, the pre-operational stage, ages 2 to 7.
In this stage, our thinking is heavily driven by childhood fantasy and symbolic functions. We start to really grasp that words, images, and gestures actually stand for something else entirely. And this brilliantly illustrates why, when we draw a picture of our family at this age, we aren't concerned about realistic proportions at all. We are entirely focused on the symbolic meaning of each person on that page. It's through this kind of pretend play that we safely experience and test out the world.
Then, right around age 4, we hit what's known as the intuitive age. Basically, this means we ask a million questions. We exhaust our parents with, why is the sky blue? Why do dogs bark? Why? We realize we actually possess knowledge, but we have absolutely no idea how we acquired it. And importantly here, we're still super egocentric. We basically assume everyone else sees the world exactly the same way we do.
Next up, Section 4, concrete operational, ages 7 to 11.
Okay, so here's where we finally discover logic. We unlock inductive reasoning, meaning if we see someone eating a cookie, we can logically deduce, it must be snack time. And this brings us to a massive psychological breakthrough called conservation, which fundamentally shifts how we view the physical world around us.
Think about how a taller glass plays a trick on the eye. If you pour juice from a normal, wide glass into a taller, skinnier one, our younger sibling will immediately pick the tall glass, genuinely thinking they are getting more juice. But our brand new concrete operational brain, it knows the amount stays exactly the same. We can actually reverse actions in our mind now. We finally understand that if 3 plus 5 is 8, then hey, 8 minus 3 must be 5.
Naturally, excited by these incredible new mental abilities, we apply them constantly, in conversations, at school, everywhere. And as a result, we begin to get to know ourselves much better. We finally realize that our thoughts and our feelings are totally unique to us, and they aren't necessarily shared by everyone else in the room. This is huge. Guys, it allows us to finally shed that egocentrism and learn to truly put ourselves in someone else's shoes, developing real, genuine empathy.
Which brings us to Section 5, formal operational, from age 12 and up.
According to Piaget, this final milestone is where we achieve full human intelligence. We experience an absolute explosion of new abilities. Suddenly, we can think rationally about abstract concepts, deep morality, and complex ideas like success, love, and hate. We can systematically plan out our lives and even just sit back and philosophize about the concept of thinking itself. Because we can finally truly understand why people behave the way they do, we become so much more compassionate.
However, there is a catch. This powerful new focus on our own identity creates a brand new form of egocentric thought. You might actually remember this from your own teenage years. Our newly heightened self-awareness leaves many teenagers feeling like there is an imaginary audience constantly watching their every single move, judging their clothes, their words, and all their actions.
Finally, Section 6, Piaget's legacy of learning.
To really understand the weight of this theory, we have to look briefly at the man behind it all. Jean Piaget was an absolute prodigy. Get this, he published his first scientific paper on albino sparrows at age 11. By 1920, while he was working with intelligence tests, he noticed a really fascinating pattern. Younger children were consistently making very specific mistakes that older kids simply didn't make. He concluded that children aren't just, less smart adults, they literally think in a completely different way. And he dedicated his entire life to proving it.
If this video helped you understand people a little better, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more psychology insights. Your support helps this channel grow and allows me to create more videos like this. See you in the next one.
I want to leave you with one final, crucial thought as you continue to explore the depths of human behavior. Looking back at your own life, which of Piaget's stages do you think shaped your current mindset the most? Because remember, understanding people is powerful, but understanding yourself